Hello and welcome to this video. First of all, thank you for getting the template. If you're watching this video right now, you should have gotten the template, and if you have not gotten the template, the link to get the template is somewhere around this post. Just look around, either at the top, just check in the post and the comment section, you will find the link. So okay, this is the landing page once you've gotten the link. So this video is um, a guide video on how to use the um, real estate data super double tracker template. Okay, so um, this template comprises of two spreadsheets, one for the property listing and the other for client and transaction tracking, right? So first of all, let's handle the part of copying it into our spreadsheet. It's very easy to use. I'm doing this video for the people that probably haven't used a spreadsheet before. If you're conversant with using a spreadsheet, you will definitely know how to use this tracker because it is very simple. Okay, so once you've gotten the link to the template and you click on it, you would be taken to this page on your browser, right? You will see this page whether you're using a phone or you're using a laptop. You will see this page, right? Unless maybe you already have the Google Sheet app, which is I'm talking about the people using phone, right? So unless you have the Google Sheet app, I don't know, I think it will just open to just make a copy and send you to your Google Sheet app. But if you do not have that yet, it will bring you to your browser, and this is the screen you'll see now. You'll come to this button here and click on make a copy. Once you click on make a copy, the next thing you're going to see is going to open the tracker, right? Has made a copy, and the copy is going to be on your Google. Now you have to have a Gmail to be able to use this spreadsheet, right? So that I think it can I would recommend you use your Gmail because Google Sheet is cloud based. Excel, you have your data just on your laptop, and you might lose it. So I would recommend you open it with Google Sheet. Right, straight into it. Now once you have your Google account logged into your browser, it's going to make a copy of this template, and it will be in your Google Drive, right? You can access this template from your browser, but it will be easier for people using their mobile phones. Download the spreadsheet app, download the Google Sheet app. Once you download the Google Sheet app and open it up, this template is already going to be in part of those files because you have to log in on the Google Sheet app. And when you've logged in with your Google account, this particular template, the fact that you've copied it, it should be in your Google Drive, and then automatically it will show on your Google Sheet. I hope you understand what I said. So however, whichever way you want to access it, you will come on a page like this. Now, first of all, the columns, right? Up, down, this way is a column. 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 And then you can see that the column headers are boldly specified, and this is how you categorize your recording. Now, this part of the sheet, right? This part of the sheet is for the property listing, right? Tracking the properties. Now, if you look at it down here, I labeled the property listing record. You can change it if you want to. You can edit it and change it. You can click this arrow, upside down arrow, and then you see options to change the name, whatever you want to put it as, right? Then the next sheet should be is the client transaction record, right? Where you also have the columns and its headers, how you would categorize your records. These things you see like this, they're called drop downs, right? For client type, which is the header of the column. When you click on the drop down, you see the options that are there, right? So instead of stressing yourself to be typing those to be typing it in, these are column categories that has limited options, right? Like client type, you can either have a buyer or a type or a renter, which is called a tenant, right? So when there are limited options, you just, when you see a drop down, you know there are limited options and you just pick from there. And also, if the options that you have here are not enough, you can just click here, the edit button, right? And you have a space to edit and make more, right? Add another item. You add another item here once you click on it, and then you add the value, you put the color in, whatever you want to put, right? It's going to show, and then you click on done, and that's it. It will enter for you, right? Apply to all, everything will enter, right? I didn't change anything, so it's going to still be there the way it is. So once you click it, you see your options, and that's the way it is. You see the headers, how they found you, property ID, transaction type. I'm going to show you how to fill in the how to fill in the rows, right? The cells with the column labels. I'll show you that in a bit. I'm just taking you on a tour around the tracker looks like for now. So if you go further, you'll find where you track payments. If you see the naira, the 0 naira and kobo signs, and all of these are, you don't have to stress yourself with any of the calculations. You just need to put a few numbers. Once you put the amounts, the rest of the calculation is done for you, and then all you need to do is click on these drop downs and pick your options, the appropriate options, which we will also see in a bit. So now we know we talked about the fact that this um, tracker is connected to your social media page, right? So I'm going to take time now to populate this tracker so that you can see exactly what it looks like when you fill it up. So that let's get into it already, right? Okay, right here now. This is, I've populated the property listing a bit, not too much, just for the purpose of this video, with um, random property listings I got from social media, from random accounts on Instagram, right? So you're looking at this property ID now. You're wondering, how do I get this property ID? You are the one that will come up with that, right? It's not. It's a coding system in data entry. You just need to know how to do it, and it's very simple. MMR here means Mr. Man Realty. That is like an acronym of my company if I had a real estate um, business, right? I do data management. I don't have a real estate. I don't sell property. I'm not a realtor or a real estate agent. I work with real estate professionals. So, and I also work with other I work in with other industry professionals too. So this is if I had if I had if my company name is Luxury Land Realty, it will be LLR001, right? That's how it goes. So I'm sure you get the the idea. Now the next is property link. Now this is how this this tracker is connected to your social media listing, right? Your social media posts of the property. So what your every social media, every real estate agent is supposed to have a social media account where they upload their listings, right? For visibility. Every social media, every in fact every business right now is supposed to have a presence on social media, right? So and then um, professionals in this industry upload their listings on their social media platform. So why not just take the link of that post and bring it to this cell under the column header of property link, paste it. All you need to do, even whether you're using a phone, if you're using a phone, where the cursor is where you're going to have to where you're going to click, right? You click on the cell, and then the once you click and hold on the cell, if you're using a phone, you will see the option to paste, right? That which means you have copied. Before you do this, remember you have to go to your social media post where you've posted the listing. Click on the three dots by the top right if it's on Instagram. Other Okay, let's do this. I'm going to This is the link to one of the listings, right? So I'm going to open it so that we would see exactly what I'm talking about. Right. The dots I'm talking about is this, right? This is a random listing I just picked on Instagram, and then these three dots here, once you click on it, you're going to see copy link right here. Now, once you've clicked on copy link, right, you come back to your spreadsheet, right? And then you click on here, hold, and you see the option to paste, right? If you are using your laptop, you just click on here and then click Control V, and then it will paste in that cell. Then whenever you need it, you can always come here, pick the link out, and it takes you directly to that post. Now, next things, the category is the type of property it is. We have options of both residential, commercial, industrial, land, special use. You are the professional, you categorize each property, you know the one that is which. Now, property type, duplex, whatever kind of property it is, right? A bungalow, uh, flats, that's for residential. If it is for warehouses, you can also put if it is a warehouse, you can put a warehouse, you can put a store, whatever it is, that just put the property type there. Now, this is the place for description, right? So you follow the label, follow the label. They are all, it's easy, very easy, right? This is the pricing, this is your commission, right? You put your commission so that you'll be able to track it, right? You know that, okay, for this particular property, this is the commission I agreed with this is my agreed commission, right? So transaction type, once you click the drop down, you see the options, and then you know what to use, right? Available, the status of the property, if it is still available, if it is under offer, if it has been sold. These are the options. You see it under offer, sold, rented, you know, if it is rented off, if it was for rent and it has been rented off, right? If it was for sale and it has been sold off, right? If someone is negotiating on it, like someone's interested in the property, you update it to under offer, so that you don't give that same property to somebody else and then begin to collide heads tomorrow, right? So this is the cell, this is the column for your documents available for the property. Document folder, I recommend you store your documents in the cloud, on the internet, right? I use my Google Drive, right, to file documents. And so the link of the drive, of the folder, should be here. You just copy it from your Google Drive and then paste it here. The owner's name, maybe a land you're selling for someone, a property, or you're managing for someone. Landlord, seller's name here, phone number, right? Contact. So we come to the most important part of this um, um, tracker, this template. Now this is where how you're going to filter down from, right? This is where the features are, right? Now you see the living rooms, bedrooms, bathrooms, and boys quarter rooms. This is the stores. This is stores. Now when you look at it, you see the way it's filled. This is supposed to fill with numbers, like number of this, number of this, number of this, number of this. Now these ones have question marks on them, so it's a yes or no question, right? If you're not sure whether it's yes or no, you can use not available, right? If you're not sure, right? Then furnished now usually has yes, no, partially. Some places are furnished, some places are not furnished, right? On one particular property. And then you can also pick the options when you click on the drop down. Now, this is a space now for other features where you can now put the penthouse, fully automated, like the house is fully automated, fully fitted kitchen, library, gym, swimming pool, jacuzzi, and whatnot. Just put everything, other features that are interesting about the house on in this part of the tracker. I'll make another video on filtering so that this one will not be too long. This is just showing you how to populate the tracker. So this is the second part, the client transaction records. Right here is where I clicked to get here. So here now, transaction ID, you can also get your own transaction ID, but you can use a general transaction code like TXN001, right? And then the beautiful thing about this is once you put your cursor at the end and it gets this tiny cross icon, hold and pull down. Whether you're using a phone or you're using a laptop, just hold it and pull down from that blue dot, and it's going to give you a numbering of your code, right? You can see 001, 002, 003, 004. So the system understands that this is a coding, right, and continued it for you. And that's how it works. So for transaction number one, you have your client name. You put in the name of the client, put in the phone number, follow the column like the others, follow the column, and then you put it. Now the transaction, the property ID here, now what you're going to put here is the property that the client is negotiating on, right? Once the property ID is put here, you go to the property record, right? To When you open the property listing record, you go to the status for the property, for that particular property. Let's say it was property MMR 002, right? This one right here, that they are negotiating on. You come to 002, right? And then you put it to under offer, right? Yeah, it was on under offer before, but yes, you just come there and you put it to under offer, right? If it was MMR 001, you come here and update it and put it to under offer, right? So that you know that, okay, we are still talking about it too, but the person we've not crossed the stage of negotiation. Now, so that you'll be able to track which records, which property has been sold and which property hasn't been sold. Once this client, now that you're filling in here, once the client has gone past the payment part of this record, right? Once the client has paid, right, and you have put it, you will change, you will go and change status, the transaction status, to sold. Once the person has bought it, you change it to sold. So like this now, when you're filtering down, you will now see you will see the property status. The property status will show you if it's still available or not, right? So once you've seen sold, you know that okay, this property, it matches with the one I'm looking for, but this one has been sold, so it's no longer here. You can even delete that listing as when you do that, right? Yeah, so but you can keep it also for records of how many property when you want to do your end of month or end of year reviews, business review, see how many properties that was sold and how much you made and all of those, right? So that's the reason why it's good you have it there. All right, so back to client transaction record. Now, this is the transaction type. You still update this for sale, yeah. You still update it when you put the property ID. You update and put the type of transaction you and the client is having. Is it a sales? Is it a rent? Is it a rentage? You know, I know, or leasing. Now, agreed price. You put your agreed price, right? Then the amount paid. If the person didn't pay completely, you put the amount the person paid so that the balance will show by itself. Now, let me show you something. If the amount paid was 50,000, automatically the balance becomes 50,000, right? I didn't have to type it there, right? If I change it to 100,000, which means the person paid completely, the balance becomes 0.00. So you see that you're automatically tracking your balances. If you come on your tracker, if you come on your records and then you go through your balances and you see somebody is having a balance, then means that somebody is owing me. Secondly, you also see the payment term, right? Once the person is paying instrumentally, what you guys agreed is instrumental payment. You put it at installment payment, right? So when the person now pays, when you follow up on the person and the person completes the payment, you now update it to full payment. You understand? So going forward, this is mode of payment. When you bring out the drop down, you will see the options: cash, card, transfer, how did the person pay. It is all there. Now, payment date, that's also important so that you can track. You can, in case there is something you want to find out, you can go back. You have evidence of the day the payment was made. You can go to your account like you can do for reconciliation purposes, right? Then your commission now. This commission now is, you will remember this commission because when you were listing the when you were listing the property, you listed the commission that for that particular property, the agreed commission for that particular property. Do you understand now? So you now put your transaction, your commission. The moment you put your commission, now remember the agreed price is still there, right? So let's say you put 20%, enter. You see that your commission has updated itself. Let me bring the screen. Your commission has updated itself, right? See how easy it is. That's how easy it is, right? Your commission has updated itself. Now imagine that out of the commission now you're supposed to receive 20,000. You now receive you are now paid 15,000. Check your balance, right? You see that the money is not complete and your balance is showing you that already, that there's a balance of 5,000 naira. You need to go and get it. So when you follow up on the payment, now when the balance is like this, your status, right, should be pending. They never pay you finish, right? So when you are done, once you followed up on the client and you've received your full payment, right, which is 20,000, it's now 0.00. You now update that particular transaction to paid, right? And so the only way you can now know or follow this um, this transaction without a lot of carrying a lot of things in your mind is by just keeping record of this transaction ID. That's the importance of the transaction ID. So that once you know that, okay, for this particular client, the transaction number, maybe the invoice you sent the person, you tag the invoice with this transaction number, right? So once you have this transaction number, you know that you already have, you have the property ID that the person took, that the person is negotiating on, right? You have the record of the person, you and that person's transaction. Once you have the transaction ID tagged to the person, right? You can send it through while you are invoicing the person. You can send it the moment you are sending the link for the image to the person. The person shows interest and says, I want this and this and this. Say, okay, you send the image, the link. You come to your property listing. You pick a link, right? You pick a link and then you send to the client on WhatsApp. You pick a link, copy, send to the client on WhatsApp. The client sees the links and then indicates interest in one of the property and say, okay, I like this particular one. You come back to this place, say, okay, that particular link the client liked is this MMR003. So you go and you update the status on that offer, right? Good. Then you come here, then you put the client's name, right? Put the client's name, you put the client's phone number and the client's email and everything. Then you put the MMR3 here. Then this transaction number now, you send it to the client on the WhatsApp inbox so that you use that to tag the client, right? You just type TXN001 and send to the client. If the client asks you what's that, you just tell the person is the transaction code for this particular transaction that both of you have. You will understand, right? Find a creative way to just present it to that particular client so that every time you're looking for, and even if that client is buying from you again, tag the client with the recent transaction number that you are that you are filling that particular transaction for. Imagine that, okay, Emeka buys from you today, then other people buys and buys and buys and buys, and Emeka wants to buy from you again. You put his name here and then you will tag him with TXN008 again, so that when you scroll through your charts, you will see the first one that you tagged him. You will see TXN001, and you keep scrolling down, you now see TXN008, and that might be the last one. If that's not the last one, you still scroll down and then you will find where you tagged him with TXN00 whatever, right? So that is that about it. The next video I'm going to be showing you how to filter, and that one will not be this long. I was introducing the video, and that's the reason why this one took this much time. So thank you for your time.